Hey guys, it's Jared from Little Laboratory, and recently I've seen a lot of things online about like why Titanfall 2 is dead and like how it died and stuff, but I want to talk about how it's not dead, and it's actually has a pretty active player base because it's a really great game, and it's kind of a shame that a lot of people think it's dead. I'm also here with Brandon to talk about how it's not dead and how there's a pretty active player base, because we both played a lot and it's really fun.
Hey guys, it's Brandon. Right now I'm going to talk about a huge aspect of Titanfall 2, and that's the Titan combat. Titanfall 2 is really evolved around the pilot-Titan relationship, and Titanfall 2 multiplayer really brings this out. You get to choose between a bunch of different Titans, and they each have different playstyles. For example, Ronin is morely close quarters combat, and Scorch is more pilot hunting. There's a lot of different aspects to the Titan combat, and it's so amazing, and I can't believe that many people think that it's dying, because it's really not. We haven't had a good mech game in a while, and they're still out there, but in this game, story is compelling with your Titan. Each Titan has their own little thing, and it just adds a little bit of spice, gives a little extra to the game. And I think even though that a lot of people do play pilot versus pilot, it's still a lot of fun to just do the Titans versus Titans, Titans versus pilots. It just adds a whole different aspect to a game. Because if you're playing like Call of Duty, for example, you're not gonna go be fighting around other people and expect there to be a giant, huge mech there. Titanfall 2 opens up and adds up all these different things so that you need to be aware of your surroundings, making it an amazing game. Plus parkour adds a huge aspect to Titans, going on to them, taking out their core, throwing in grenades. It adds in a whole new, almost like a boss kind of a thing, and makes you think twice about where you're going to go in Titanfall 2.
And the Titan combat isn't all that's great about Titanfall 2. The pilot combat is also amazing. The way the parkour works and just the movement in general is great. You're zipping around the map, running on walls, grappling hooking, turning invisible, using like boosts and all sorts of things. It's just really great. And the Titan combat's not all that's great about Titanfall 2. The pilot combat is also amazing. The movement system is the best in almost any game. You're zipping around the map, running on walls, sliding around, double jumping, grappling hook onto stuff, using stim boost. It's great. And the time to kill is just perfect. It's not too long, it's not too short. And the gun and like everything's mostly balanced. You know, like the guns are mostly balanced. There are a few ones that you could argue are kind of overpowered, but mostly everything's balanced. And there are tons of them, and there's tons of progression too. Like you can go up to generation 100, and there's 50 levels for each generation. So that's like 5,000 levels, I think. I'm not sure if I did that math right, but it's just there's so much to do, and as you go, you unlock like more weapons and more attachments and more power-ups and more cosmetics and banners and all that stuff and more factions, and Mervin is the best, and 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 the pilots have a bunch of different classes. There's amped wall, stim, grapple hook, cloak, phase shift, hollow pilot, and I think that's all. And they're all different, and they all work in different ways. Well, it just brings a big like variety to each, like every single level. I mean, not level. It brings variety to like whatever you're doing. You know, it's like a bunch of different styles, but it all just works.
Alright, so everybody's stating that Titanfall 2 is dead and no one plays it. But what's very interesting here is that it's very easy to find matches. Matches consist of different types of game modes, and here are just a list of my personal favorites. Atrocian, Capture the Flag, and Bounty Hunt. Okay, so Atrocian is basically, it's a pilots on pilots that can activate Titans, and there are also AI who will respawn and are scattered throughout the map. So basically how you play Atrocian is first one to score a specific number of points wins. See, Atrocian can have many turning points. because in the beginning, a team will probably end up getting their Titans first, but after all the Titans are worn out, the game changes. Atrocian, it doesn't matter how good you are, you'll get so much experience from it, and it's just so much fun overall. The next game mode I will be talking about is Bounty Hunt. Bounty Hunt is my personal favorite. Basically, each thing has a marker that has an enlistment of a value of dollars. Every time you add up more dollars, you're more likely going to get more in the bank. First one to $2,000 or $20,000 wins. So basically, there will be Titans that drop, and they have like high numbers, like 5,000, and whichever team kills them has to go to the bank. Now, banks are open each wave. Waves switch around the same time. Each wave's like 4 to 6 minutes. So basically, if you cash out your stuff to the bank, so let's say I have $200 and I go to the bank and I successfully cash it out, that $200 adds to your team's score. But there will be annoying crapperoony people who camp at the banks and try to kill the people, preventing them from ever cashing out their checks. So a lot of people say that Bounty Hunt is dead because nobody plays it. And yes, Bounty Hunt, it takes a bit longer, but it is so much fun. And a lot of the time people say it's so boring because it's always on the same map, Warzone, which is not always true, but it is mostly in Warzone. But Warzone is a fun map, and I think that it is not that bad of a game mode. And Titanfall 2 is a great game. And we forgot to mention this, but if you haven't played Titanfall 2, get a demo or something. Go to a friend's house and try it out, because this game is so much fun. And you might start off sucking because you die really quickly, but once you get the hang of it, you're going to notice yourself doing a lot better than you started. And honestly, that's just like Rainbow Six Siege. But now we're getting off topic. The last game mode I will be talking about is Capture the Flag. And it's pretty self-explanatory. You capture the flags, but there is kind of a twist to Titanfall 2. I mean, like, besides the fact that there's different classes who can do different abilities, upping their team. I would say that the most two useful Titans and pilots in Capture the Flag, Titan would be Scorch and or Monarch. Scorch being able to take down pilots very quickly with his flames and stuff like that. Monarch is also really good at taking down pilots, but so are a lot of the other Titans. Now for pilots, I have to really go with the Pulse Blade. Pulse Blade basically throws down a blade that has a certain specific area coverage and will detect enemies and where they are. So, if you're trying to prevent people from taking the flag, your Pulse Blade will detect them, so the protectors who are protecting your flag will help them out. You can get a lot of kill assists and stuff like that. But my second class that I would really have to go for here is Stim or Cloak, and yes, it is tied. Stim makes you go a lot faster, which will help you when you're carrying the flag. Cloak cloaks himself so he's invisible. And I guess you guys could see why this is so helpful in a game mode like Capture the Flag. There is halftime, but you're just going to have to play Titanfall 2 to see how amazing these 3 game modes are. And note that these aren't the only 3 game modes. There's a lot more, and they have seasonal stuff. So I'm going to hand it back to Jared here, but please do give Titanfall 2 a shot. It is so much fun.
And there are 2 more things that are great about Titanfall 2. One thing is the campaign. The campaign is just amazing. It's short, but it's tons of fun, and it's actually really hard on like the hardest difficulty, but it's a great challenge and tons of fun. And then the one last thing is microtransactions. Now, despite being made by EA or published by EA, Titanfall 2 does microtransactions right. They're all cosmetic weapon skins and pilot skins, but also they're pretty decent prices. And, you know, they're all cosmetic, and it's, like, not a loot box or anything. You just choose what you want to buy. So, it's pretty great. So, yeah, you should really get Titanfall 2. Anyway, that is it for the video. Thanks for watching. If you liked, leave a like. If you like what we make, subscribe. And see you in the next video. Bye.